Hey, it's your Lifestylist K, your Secure One Mentor, and welcome back to another video. For you guys who are new, welcome, and for those who are returning, welcome back. I am a certified life coach, and what I do is I help women unlearn the lies of toxic love so that she can heal, rebel, and live life unapologetically. And so we are thriving past toxic relationships, right? And today I want to talk about 3 masks you were conditioned to wear in order for you to keep returning to toxic relationships, in order for you to remain in toxic relationships. So I want to dive into those 3 things. And hopefully this helps you navigate out of that mindset or navigate yourself out of the toxic relationship and into your healing process.
And I'm found by the roadside, day in, day out.
And so the 3 masks that I want to talk about are the 3 masks that you were conditioned to wear. And I want to talk about why it's time to take them off. So number 1 would be the strong one. As a woman who's experienced toxic relationships, and I always make this disclaimer, it does not matter if it is a toxic relationship in love, toxic relationship in a family dynamic, toxic relationship in work dynamic, just toxic relationships overall, because there's always that underlining issue. But one mask you were conditioned to wear is being the strong one. And what that looks like, being the strong one, is never asking for help, always keeping it together, and smiling through the storm. And I know I can say that more than likely is who I am. I resonate with that one a lot. But I'm here to tell you that you don't have to be. It's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to see yourself as vulnerable. And if there's someone in your life that's not allowing you to be vulnerable, then they no longer need to be in your life. And when we talk about boundaries, that is one of those things that we have to dive into, because boundaries is also understanding when people aren't allowing you just to be your authentic self, right? When you have someone in your life that's not allowing you to be your authentic self, or there's an issue when you are trying to be more of who you are because you're not one-dimensional, and they find it to be an issue, then they no longer need to be in your space, because what they're teaching you is that vulnerability equals weakness. And we know that that's not true. But you were taught that. And then when you attempt to be vulnerable, you consistently have people in your life that shun you away from you just having your moments where you need someone to lean on, instead of you always being the one that is being leaned on. When you are not allowed to show your vulnerability, you become your own rock, right? And it's hard being your own rock, but you become your own rock. And the worst part about being your own rock is that you are your own rock when you are breaking inside, when you need someone there, when you need someone to lean on. You have no one except for you. So it causes you to remain strong, because once you show that vulnerability, you're made to feel less than who you are. I get it. But I'm here to tell you that being a strong person means that you also have vulnerabilities. And in order for you to shift out of, or have less of that strong one mentality, is understanding that as you heal and you're shifting, understand that strength is not self-abandonment. Being strong is not self-abandonment. When someone else is pushing you to abandon those aspects of you that come off as quote unquote weak, you want to make sure that, you know what, instead of abandoning myself, I need to get rid of or remove that in which is causing me to abandon aspects of me. Because understand that real power is allowing yourself to feel. And it's also asking for support without shame. And the people you ask makes the big difference. One key factor in this when it comes to asking, don't ask people who are not healed enough, that lack the capability of showing up for you in the ways that you have shown up for them. And then number two out of the three, the next one would be the nice one. Now, we've talked about the nice girl persona on this channel, and I'll link it somewhere right here for you guys to really dive deep into that. But the nice one, now that can be tricky because some are just authentically nice. It's just, it comes with the territory of who you are. But you have to understand and know how to be less nice. You have to learn how to turn it off and on. That's imperative, especially when you're dealing with toxic relationship or have dealt with toxic relationships. Because what happens is that people will take your kindness as weakness. In reality, it's not a weakness at all. But because people will prey on the fact that you have a nice personality and you're just a genuinely nice individual, they will take advantage of that. So you have to know how to turn it off and on. And if you don't understand necessarily what the nice one means, what that looks like is always saying yes, even when you mean no. That's a big one. And then there's that avoiding conflict at all costs, never approaching a thing head on because you don't like conflict. And see, that's something that you're going to have to learn, that in order to get over certain aspects of situations, you have to, or get to the bottom line of things, you have to confront them. Conflict sometimes is inevitable, but there are tricks and tips that you could use to avoid the conflict from getting out of hand or from losing control while in the conflict. But avoiding conflict at all costs, that's another way in which it looks. And then another one is being agreeable just to be liked. Now, I used to do this when I was younger, avoiding conflict and things like that. But as you mature, as you grow, you realize that, listen, y'all are trying to take my kindness for weakness, and I don't appreciate that. And so you move differently as you grow, as you learn, as you elevate. And if you've been hurt enough, if you've experienced enough toxicity, you'll learn that people are going to be who they are. It's me who has to change. It's me who has to shift. It's me that has to put up some barriers to avoid being played with. And a lot of times, what happens, you become the nice girl or you're the nice girl because you feel or you've been taught that love is earned through obedience and approval. And so you learn and you train yourself to keep the peace even while you're hurting. That is detrimental. While you're trying to keep the peace, they're disturbing your peace. And that's one thing you don't ever want to experience for too long. So when it comes to you holding yourself accountable, when you are experiencing this type of dynamic, you have to realize that I'm not giving them what they're giving me. I'm being peaceful. They're giving me all the chaos. So I have two choices here. I can give them chaos back, or I can walk away and choose my peace because I don't have time for this and I don't have the energy for this, and I deserve better. Once you start to take accountability and see yourself as worthy, you will realize that you deserve better than the chaos someone is giving you. You deserve better than someone disturbing your peace. Because ultimately, what's going to happen? You taking on and consistently being the nice girl in that relationship is going to come at a cost. You can start to lose your identity. You start to resent your situation, whatever that is for you, because everyone's journey is different. And then you start to adopt a more chronic people pleasing personality. And trust me, we've all have experienced that resentful woman or man who has lost their identity and now they're the meanest person that you ever come across. They're jealous, like there's just so much resentment within them that it comes out. They just exude. So don't pay the cost for you not choosing you over her. So I want you to understand this. Kindness without boundaries is self-betrayal. As much as people think that it is better to give than receive, no. Reciprocity is always better than anything that you're giving or receiving. I don't believe in, oh, it's better to give than receive. No, I need reciprocity because I could give and give and give. And if I see that there's no reciprocity in this situation, then I'm going to walk away. And that is how you set boundaries. You don't want to betray yourself. You deserve better than that. Because the one thing I want you to understand is that you are allowed to take up space and still be loved. Never forget that. And then last but not least, the perfect one. We have the strong one, we have the kind one, and now we have the perfect one. Now, what does that look like? And usually the perfect one is the overachiever. And you're overachieving to feel worthy, hiding your flaws and failures because you don't want to be judged. You want to look like the perfect person. So any signs of failure, you're going to hide it. You're going to shun it. You're going to downplay it, or you're just going to hide it all together. And you choose to do it right or perfect to avoid rejection, or you don't do it at all. Being the perfect one can cause you to not even attempt because you don't want to fail. And the reason why you're at this space of feeling like you have to be perfect, because you were taught that your value lives in your performance, what you can do and what you can do great and good. So you work on becoming this masterpiece that they can never criticize, which then causes you to be fake because now you don't know how to be your true authentic self because you're constantly performing. It's like a never ending cycle. And what happens with this when you're constantly on, when you're constantly performing, the cost of that is anxiety, shame, disconnection. More than anything, disconnection from your true authentic self. Because the more you perform, the more you put on, the further and further you get away from who you truly are. You don't have to be perfect to be powerful. And don't allow the lies of other people to make you into something that you are not. We all have things that we can work on. We all have room for improvement. And you don't have to perform consistently for someone to love you. That is not love, that is control. And understanding that wholeness lives in your humanness, not your performance, not what you can show up and be for someone to applaud you or for someone to say, I love you for just always being perfect. Because the moment you let someone down, they're going to tear you down the first moment they feel like you've done something that was not up to par to their standards. But when you have a standard and a boundary about yourself and for yourself, it does not matter what someone else says because you know that you have room for growth. You know that everyone makes mistakes. You know that no one is perfect. And as long as you're being the best that you can be for you, you know that that is good enough. As long as you know that there's room to grow and you are growing, that's enough. And so below, if you've made it this far, type below which mask have you worn or are you wearing now? I'll say my top two would be the strong one and the nice one, right? And even sometimes I've probably titter tattered in that performance aspect as well. But The two top ones is the strong one and the nice one. I've been there. I've experienced it. But I'm here to tell you that it's time to take off the mask. Your soul is safe with you being the real you. Your soul is safe with you being vulnerable. Your soul is safe with you always not showing up as the nice one. Your soul is safe with you not always having to perform for approval. So I'm your Lifestylist K, your secure woman mentor. And until next time, I will see you on the next video.